morning, Geek. So, right now, I was thinking about some things last night. Last night, I was thinking about some things. I thought about some things. I had things in my mind, and I thought I would share them with you in all due time. So here I am. Sharing my mind. I realized last night when I was talking, I forgot to mention a couple movies that were coming out that I was going to go see. One of which I believe comes out today, which is The Menu with Ralph Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy, and I forget the other actor that's in it. But it looks really interesting because it looks like a fucking setup, basically. Like all these people pay this exorbitant amount of money to come to this exclusive, chef's cooking event or some such, and through the course of that event, to get them all there, and they find out, gotcha, bitch. We brought you all here to kill you. Like, wow. So I want to see that because it looks really interesting. But the other one I missed while I was talking about Wakanda and everything was Devotion with Jonathan Majors is coming out next week. I think it comes out the 27th, if not the 18th, if not today. And it was a true story of a World War I black pilot during the Korean War. Excuse me, a black pilot. I had not read up on the rest of that brother's story, but I thought it was an interesting enough movie for you guys to go and watch and give some patronage to, as opposed to getting wrapped up and listening to people talking about the whole Wakanda Forever, the erasure of men, all the late birds jumping in on the conversation now. So I thought that would be more fun than just focus on that, because the funniest thing I saw was this morning was Brian Michael Bendis. He put up some images on his Instagram, which were of Ironheart #1 in Invincible Iron Man, and then one of the interior panels of Ironheart with her costume. And I think he put it up as a counter to people critiquing the way the costume looks. That the costume is a comic book accurate costume from when he first created her. I'm like, wow, he's salty a little bit, huh? Yeah. I get it, but it's like, wow, it's coming. Well, little bald guy. He got something to say. He didn't like y'all not liking his character. He didn't like that shit at all. But being a person myself, I can understand that. You put something out there, you thought it had a good reception, and it shows up in a live action movie and people shitting on it right, left, and center. So, yeah, it is. Media, VC Realm. I haven't seen that documentary. If you have the link for it, throw it in the chat, or somebody else with a wrench, throw it in the chat, because I'm driving. I can't do that whole wrench thing right now. Throw it in the chat, because I do love a good documentary. I still have a documentary that my girl Nina G told me about. It was a Sinead O'Connor documentary that I want to watch, because Sinead O'Connor was big back in the 90s. She came out and said some stuff against the Catholic Church, and they shut her ass down. They shut her whole fucking career down. And she's still rebellious and defiant. She still is. So I have to watch that documentary on Sinead O'Connor to see what kind of spark she got in herself. Because she's Irish, and I got some Irish in my blood on both sides of my family, so I figure I'd do my diligence. For the culture, for my peoples. But other than that, man, I'm kind kind of enjoying things a little bit right now. Shout out to my boy, the Nameless Protagonist. I missed his fucking birthday. His birthday was on the 15th, which was Tuesday. I was doing some shit Tuesday, so I wasn't thinking about nobody else at that moment. So shout out to the Nameless Protagonist, my Scorpio brother in the space. Oos. Big oos to the Nameless one for gaining another year of longevity. The healing factor continues to work. So shout out to him for his birthday, and I'm getting to the tail end of all my Scorpio birthdays. So what is it, today the 18th? So I think my ex-brother-in-law, his birthday is today, but other than that, I'm free and clear. So the only thing I got looking forward to is grandbaby's birthday at the end of the month. I'm gonna have to go out there because I have not been doing my due diligence. I've been working too much and haven't been seeing my son and the grandbaby enough. I am being a bad grandpa. I am being a bad grandpa, not in a sexy way. So I gotta get on my deal because I gotta go my deal. It's my granddaughter. I only have one, so I have to do my part. So missing them. They might be missing me, or they not even thinking about my ass. See how they do Black Men and Black Panther shit. I'm living in the real world. This is real condoms, so I gotta make sure I'm not erased. I gotta make sure I'm not erased and wrote off like I'm dead. So, yeah. So, like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. Hit that like button, please. I like a 1 for 1. What else we got on the big view? I'm really, the video I was watching before I left here was the guy reviewing the box office numbers for Black Panther going into the weekend and how it's tracking and how it should go. And I don't focus on Monday through Friday box office numbers. I will look at the box office numbers on a Sunday or a Monday the following to see what it did on the weekend. But I'm not getting that tied down to the minutia, because for me, that's the way you can actually steer that number a little bit. You can skew it a bit. And the reason you can skew it a bit is if you say, hey, this movie shouldn't make X amount of dollars this weekend, and you have a big enough platform, people who listen to that shit will not go to the movies this weekend because they want to see a film. You cannot underestimate the human capacity for wanting to watch something burn the hell down. You cannot, look, everybody makes jokes about it, but people love seeing car crashes. They do. They like seeing train wrecks, car crashes, dumpster fires. It doesn't matter. There is some sick need in people to watch things be destroyed. And that's that little bit of chaos that we like seeing. What's up, Aria? Morning to the chocolate witch. It's that little bit of chaos that we like seeing. So saying something like that before the weekend on a Friday actually steers a certain amount of people to not go. Try to make that a reality. I mean, it's no different than when you raise kids. Whatever you tell that kid is what it's going to try to aspire to. Right? That's what it's gonna try to aspire to. If you tell the kid they ain't shitting any demon seed and stuff like that, they will work to make those expectations for you. They will. Subconsciously, they will always do it. Slow motion, disaster is entertaining. Yeah, it is Aquatech. If you got a diploma, why do you think there's footage of crash test dummies? People find that shit interesting. They got whole science behind that shit. Just washing away the body. They got whole science behind that shit. They use it for useful means, but part of it comes out of that, sick fascination with seeing stuff like that. It just is. Because you have to think of the first guy who did that as a crash test. Like, man, they messed up. I wish we could see this in slow motion. Come on, man. What do you think he was thinking of? Think he wanted a dummy in the car? No. Wanted real people in that shit so we can see that. Come on, man. So, understand there's a certain segment of people who like that kind of shit. They will work to make those expectations come true. And at least the reviewer is honest and like, he doesn't want to see the movie do bad. He's just reporting on the numbers, which is true enough. Like I said, I don't want to see these movies be terrible. I want them to be good. I don't like having to do a review that the movie fucking sucked ass for me. And I'm upset and pissed off. I don't like that. Look, man, I do not revel in being, pissed off and having my fucking hackles on. I don't revel in that shit. I don't revel in summoning the hellspawn flames, the green flames. I don't revel in that shit. Look, man, you use my energy up. What up, Enigma? But at times I understand that sometimes motherfuckers need that hellfire. Sometimes people need that hellfire. It's just what it is. I'd rather be able to go into a movie, watch it, find some things that I like about it, find some things I dislike about it, and try to present you with at least a balanced appraisal of what I saw in the movie, and let you decide on that for yourself if you want to go see it or not. Just saying, well, this is what artists thought about it. Okay, keep that in mind as I go and see it or not go and see it, right? That's just what it is. Look, here's the funny part about that, Arya. The last real great MCU movie was Spider-Man. It wasn't an MCU movie. It was a Sony movie. That's the funny part about it. The MCU helped, but it's Sony's movie. That's why Sony walked away with the lion's share of the money for that movie. That's why. It was a Sony movie playing in the MCU. That's all it was. You want to see what a Sony movie did by itself? What happened with Morbius? What happened with Venom 2? That's a Sony movie with Marvel characters playing in its own universe. What happened with Doctor Strange? And what happened with Wakanda Forever and Thor 4? These are MCU movies playing in their own universe. How do they do? That's why I said Spider-Man 3 had to make that much money because they got to split the pot. They got to split it. And it's not even a 50-50 split. It's more like 80-20. Well, you getting chips. No dip. You got chips. You can go find your own dip. But they walked away with the party platter. So when I look at that, I don't look at that as Marvel's success. I look at it as Sony's success in a successful partnership. That's it. But they pulled out all the stops to make that movie get to where it did, to do the numbers it did, because they put everything in that movie that you could possibly throw in a Spider movie to make people want to see it. Only thing missing out that Spider-Man movie was the Spider-Man from the 80s TV show. That's the only thing that was missing. That's the only thing. They could have brought that dude back, then you would have had something. Maybe you would have hit that 2 billion mark. Maybe. Other than that, they did everything they could to make that movie watch. And rewrote it I don't know how many times. So thank yourselves as much as thanking them, because they was listening to social media when we were talking about what would work in a Spider-Man movie. Because best believe if they went to do a rewrite, having them other Spider-Man come back wasn't the first thing they thought of. They caught wind or some shit that would make sense. So look, they got over it. The rest of the movies ain't doing that damn good though. They look at this Wakanda Forever and they speculate the drop-off of this. I told you, look at the drop-off in the second week. Because there is no other superhero movie coming out the rest of this year. So look at the second week drop-off. And it's a soft weekend. The menu is going to take from Wakanda Forever? Nah, bruh. Wakanda Forever is going to lose on its own. I don't think the menu should be coming in and snatching viewers away from Wakanda Forever. Not a superhero movie. Shit, this movie is about food and murder. At best, you can call it an artsy flick. Suspense, maybe some thriller, which I like. So, but no, they're gonna lose that shit on their own. And it doesn't matter how much they try to keep peddling Tenoch Huerta and Letitia Wright out there like they the new, what's her name? Tom Holland and Zendaya. No, that's not who they are. You can forget that shit. If you want to be honest, Tenoch sound like he like dudes anyway. You do. You give a fuck what he look like. You know, when I was young, I found out that some of the biggest, beefiest dudes was gay. Played football, did all that masculine shit. Gay as the day is long. Oh well, that means you can't size it up. I know the popular trope is the effeminate flamer, but that's not all gay men. If you live somewhere where there's a bunch of gay men, you will see that's not all gay men. Some of them you would probably never know if they didn't tell you. That's why a certain age group I buy and another age group I don't. There's too much play acting. Too much play acting. Wait, dude. Slowest thing in my lane. Slowest thing in my lane. You know this is the fastest moving live stream? I gotta keep it at 80, homie. You're bringing me down to 60. So, what up, Pragmatic? What is this? 225? What the hell are you putting in here, VC Realm? How long before Disney Plus streams? It's usually 30 to 60 days. If I remember correctly, 30 to 60 days. So just say January. Just say January. It'll be on Disney Plus in January. Because that's the deal that they have with the theater owners and the theater chains. They have to let the theater chains eat off of that shit and get their money. They end up getting sued like a motherfucker. All of them. Warner Brothers, Disney, anybody who has a streaming service and they make major motion pictures, they got to put it in the theaters for a certain amount of time before they pull it out of there. But they will get sued. Because that day and date release bullshit is what got the theater owners up their ass about lawsuits. No fucking way. Day and date shit, you will fuck up our whole business model and make us all crash. No. We got people to pay. Customers we trying to get. And just on that, I find it interesting how streaming, I would think, streaming in some ways has fell off a little bit since everything opened back up. Yep, the fastest live stream on YouTube. 80 mile an hour live stream. It's like the Pony Express of live streams. Getting it. Right now I'm down to 60 though. That's too slow. Too slow for my speed taste. Yeah, we can just kick it back up to a respectable speed. Tell people I don't drive faster than I can think. And 80 is still a little bit slow. Yes. Disney, yeah, they learned from Scarlett, because Scarlett had to smack him on the hand about that shit. She did. I heard that ridiculous argument that Artie Idmore was having on his stream that past weekend about that shit. Motherfuckers really trying to argue like a woman to make himself fucking right. It wasn't no Scarlett Johansson getting back in Disney's good graces. It was Disney getting back in her good graces. Because Disney was opening themselves up to a whole bunch of other lawsuits behind her. That's why they got rid of those back-end deals after Scarlett Johansson. Because they didn't want to get slapped. Because they was going to get slapped hard. She was trying to be fair with them, but common business tactic. If you owe me $40, motherfucker, and I want to make sure to get my 40 back, I'm going to tell you that in 10 days you owe me 100. And if you don't pay me in 10 days, you're going to owe me 100, and I'm going to be coming to kick your ass. What do you think you're going to do within day 2 or 3? Find me my 40 goddamn dollars so you don't have to pay that 100. Scarlett Johansson could have took that shit, walked into court, and got everything she asked for from Disney if they did not settle with her. They decided, look, ScarJo, look, don't do it. We messed up. That person is gone. That VP is gone. I'm sorry about that. What can we do to make this right? Look, we're going to give you that money, and we're going to give you this. Sorry. Settle. She said okay because she wanted to be cool with it. You know how you know? Because Kevin Feige called fucking Disney like, the hell you doing? You gonna fuck up my whole shit. You can't do this. That's the talent. You can't piss off the talent. Nobody will work for us then. What are you thinking? So Disney acquiesced, paid her money that she was due in her contract. She was due, and ripped up all the rest of them past contracts. They ain't doing no more of those like that. Nope. You might get 2 movies. They only signing you on for 2 movies. No back end deal. No, motherfucker. No. They would not be putting themselves over a barrel like that again. Not never. She was the last one. That's why the rest of that legacy cast has to go in a business sense, because they have those kind of, look, they make a shitload of money contracts. Because who was the next up after Robert Downey Jr.? Scarlett Johansson. Who you think was behind him? Her. Shouldn't do the numbers. They ain't got the money to be doing that shit. That's why Robert Downey Jr. had to start getting out of movies. It was costing too goddamn much. It was costing a special effects budget. I got to go. Y'all costing too much. Get some younger actors in here who can't ask for that kind of money. Tom Holland. You can't ask for that kind of money. You ain't proved it yet. You want to prove it? Spider-Man 4. Let's see if your ass by yourself can make it a $1 billion movie. Doubt it. And it's nothing against Tom Holland. I just doubt it, dude. You don't have that kind of presence. Don't have that kind of presence. You ain't been in Hollywood that long. Better hope they make a Twilight remake or some shit. You get a new Edward Cullen, and all them young girls will come out of the woodwork. Spider-Man. You have to fight somebody substantial. It won't be Craven the Hunter. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, the Twilight. The low light. The Twilight remake. Told y'all, man. Quick wit is a sign of your intelligence. Throw that shit out for free. That shit, don't even have to think about that shit long. It's like nothing. So almost there, y'all. Why are you getting over the whole fucking lane? You're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss it. Stupid bitch. Sorry, stupid drivers. I covered 3 freeways driving to work, and I'm telling you, it's 3 different grades of stupid on each one of these fucking freeways. This one is the one that nobody knows where the hell they going all of a sudden. like a mile and a half of a 2-lane road, and now you remembered you want to get over at the last minute when there's a whole line of cars on the opposite side of it. Ain't nobody letting you over. You better wait, slow your ass down. Think about where you going. Get off the fucking phone or something. I don't know. Bitch ass over, you holding up traffic. Hulk is the only one that's, cause, well, the reason why the Hulk is not getting that same money is because they recast the Hulk when they started that Avengers franchise. And Mark Ruffalo, while he was a good actor, he was Robert Downey Jr.'s friend. He brought him in, right? He wasn't getting that kind of money. He wasn't commanding that kind of money. Don't think so? What were the movies Mark Ruffalo was doing before he got the Hulk? I can name one right now. Y'all probably wouldn't even know that was Mark Ruffalo. Collateral, Michael Mann, Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx. That's Mark Ruffalo playing a Latino dude in LA. A cop. Yeah, rom-com. Beastly Nerd know, yeah, he's doing rom-coms and shit. That's why I know who Mark Ruffalo is. I watch all kind of movies. I remember faces and names. So him getting that shit was like, oh, that's interesting. Well, he looks like a quirky fucking scientist anyway. I believe that a lot more than I believe in somebody romantically involved with his ass. Ugh. That's the dude that you really want? No, that's the best friend of the dude you want. What the fuck? Anyway. But he was a decent enough actor, right? He couldn't command that kind of salary, and he wasn't getting it. You gotta remember that when Jon Favreau and Robert Downey Jr. got together to make that first Iron Man movie, the rest of the cast was filled out with Robert Downey Jr.'s friends. Because Robert Downey Jr. was a gamble. He was a fucking gamble. That's why they let him have a deal where he got so much out of the back end, because they didn't think the movie would work with him. The studio didn't want his ass. Jon Favreau had to really go to bat for Robert Downey Jr. to be in that damn movie, because Robert Downey Jr.'s reputation in Hollywood was shit when before he did Iron Man. That motherfucker was, you think Charlie Sheen was bad? God damn, Charlie Sheen was keeping up. He was trying to get some points on the board for what Robert Downey Jr. was doing. He was into some shit. Yeah, he was a train wreck. He was a gamble like a motherfucker. And it was. That's why that first Iron Man movie was such a success for Marvel Entertainment, because they took an actor that could have been really problematic if he hadn't cleaned himself up. And they gambled on that shit. They bet the house on Iron Man 1 because they went with Robert Downey Jr. So that's why he got a deal where he had stuff on the back end, because he wasn't getting it up front. They didn't know, like, oh no, man. They probably thought they was fucking him by saying, yeah, we'll give you this on the back end and you take less on the front, and let's see what the movie do. There's probably thinking, if the shit sucked, then he ain't getting shit. He ain't getting nothing on the back end. Fuck him. But it ended up being a hit because Jon Favreau did something that they haven't done in the MCU since then. They only do it partially, where he made the Iron Man suit practical. So it was something you could actually see. It wasn't on CG. And as they went on, they started CGing more of it and him wearing less of it, which became, okay, now the line is a little bit blurred where I'm just seeing a CG Iron Man most of the time. I'm not seeing somebody in a practical suit, on the stage. Okay. All right, I guess that works. Yeah, it's better for the fucking actor. But I told y'all, I like CG, but I don't like everything CG. I like practical more than anything. Because that's where you get to start twisting the line with the what's real and what's not. Let people spend some time making it. What I'm seeing of Jon Favreau right now, he just love everything computerized. Like, motherfucker, that's going backwards. Look, put it where it works. And don't use it where it doesn't. Because the stuff he's doing over on Star Wars, these motherfuckers is leaning too hard into the technology and like, look, is the story holding up? Because I'm worried now. Because y'all focusing too much on the de-aging of voice capture, emotion, and facial capture. Yeah, that's all well and good, man, for the science fair, but I want to actually see a show with people in it. I don't want to see all CG characters roaming around. Fuck all that. If I wanted that, I'd just watch anime. You know, all the people ain't real. I don't want to see that in live action. Live action, I expect to be something living on the screen, not a bunch of CG people. I'm not interested. Not interested. Like that shit is worrying me. Because I want his next offerings to be really good, and if it's only cheap, it's not goddamn good to me. I tell you guys, what do I like about Andor? CG make everything. Yeah, you can do it, but you don't use it for everything. That's what I'm liking about Andor. They're actually out in the world, real places, like George Lucas was. He didn't just take pictures of some Mayan ruins and shit and then come back home and CG it on the back screen for you. No, he took the crew there. They were there filming in the desert, in the Yucatan. They did that shit for real. That's what gave it more realism. It wasn't just backlot bullshit. No, stop doing it. So that's what I like about Andor. That's what's bothering me about what I'm hearing from John and Dave, because they over CG and everything. Like all this stuff they want to do with bringing Luke back and everybody else, there's so much goddamn CG going on. I said, who cares who's the actual actor now? Who cares? That's why I say, put your lightsaber down, man, and stop fanboying a minute. Because you jerking yourself off too hard. Too fucking hard. Let's get some real people in there. And make it relatable to people who live in the real world. And not just sit there staring at That was my rant on that. I hadn't ranted about Star Wars in a while. Just peripherally. Because MCU has had a lot of my attention recently. This bullshit. But it is what it is. My Andor review is done. I did it last night. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and get in here to do some work. Thank you guys for coming through. And I'll see you guys next time.